Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today's the 30th of April, 2018, and I did not forget about you. I've just been in a really... You guys out west, except for California, have really crappy internet. You don't have to, but you do, because apparently there isn't enough money for them to care enough to give you guys the communication to bring everyone together like they claim they do all the time. But don't you worry, because 5G is coming and everyone will be connected, monitored, followed, watched, and accounted for. So there's that. I met a really nice couple, Monica and Jason, and I was explaining the chemtrails as they were going over us, and it was really obvious. And I don't know if he really believed it or whatever, because at some point everyone's heard the word chemtrails, and if they watch a television or listen to mainstream, they get the chemtrails are crazy. People that talk about chemtrails are crazy. That's all crazy stuff. You don't want to be a tinfoil hatter, do you? But this guy actually said, and I explained how, since the Ho Chi Minh Trail, at least, since Vietnam, the government has wanted to control the weather. And there's actually a white paper that's still out to this day called Owning the Weather by 2025. And the 5G is part of that, but I think they're already there. The thing that this guy asked me is, if they own the weather, then why don't they stop the droughts? Well, because the people that want to own the weather also want to play God. That isn't a theory. It's not a guess. It is what it is. These people surround us with symbolism, sigils, and Hollywood. Hollywood. The tree, the holly tree, the wood from that tree is what magicians, warlocks, so forth and so on use to make magic wands. It's a real thing. They didn't name Hollywood by chance, like pull it out of a hat or whatever. They also don't call television programs, or welcome back to our regularly scheduled programming, they don't call it programming by chance. These people are literally using opinions, talking heads, the news, media, television, regular shows, comedies, cartoons, movies, and everything else to shape your opinion, whether you realize it or not. And as far as we know, it's never happened before in history. It might have, but once again, these people are in charge of our history, so we only know what they allow us to know, and that's that. Sadly for them, the internet has changed that, and people are starting to put the pieces together. How's that? I got stuck. Think about this. How is it that every teenage boy in the United States suddenly decided to wear his pants on the wrong side of his ass cheeks? Do you think that was like, hey, you know what? I think it'd be more comfortable to walk like I just pooped myself with my belt under my butt as opposed to on my waist? No. Because if you see these kids walking around, they can't even walk properly. And they walk around pretending they're gangsta. Gangsta. Well, in a past life, in this life, but in a past life, we'll call it, in another chapter, I actually knew what gangsta was. You understand? And if you're going to try to get away from the cops, having your pants on the wrong side of your ass ain't the way to do it. But the way they got that little trend to go around was television, rap music, MTV. There isn't a coincidence that the MTV in New York City, their headquarters, was based out of a temple for the Freemasons. Are all Freemasons bad? No. If you want to be a successful business, you want to be a successful politician, you want to be a successful official, so far, so on, blah, blah, blah. When somebody invites you to the Freemasonic Lodge, you go, sure, because a Freemason's going to give a job to another Freemason before he gives it to someone that isn't. And the scum of the earth, the pathetic little parasites, the PTPs, as I like to call them, and yes, I started that, they infiltrated these things. And the people that are especially scumbaggish, the people that don't care about other people, the people that want to succeed by any means necessary, those are the people that are recruited, especially if they're of means. Someone that might have a family that happens to be politicians, so forth and so on. The scumbags weasel into them, blah, blah, blah. At any rate, television, programming. Why wouldn't they stop the droughts? They caused the droughts. They caused the droughts in California because there's a thing called Agenda 2015. What was it, 2015? 2020? Well, they changed it to 2030, at any rate. Agenda 2030 is a real thing. The United Nations is behind it. And what they want to do is take all the people in the United States and put them all in little boxes in the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky. At any rate, they want to put everybody in a certain location, much like China, and the rest of the country will be left alone so that it can regenerate, because we, us, every single human person has been destroying the planet with our corporations and our toxic dumping and oil in the water and BP oil spill and Fukushima. That's all us. That's not corporations. That's sarcasm. It is them. Television, programming, chemtrails, all of this ties together. The reason they don't stop the droughts is because they're causing the droughts. They're causing the weather that they are calling. Do you see what I'm saying? And if you do any honest research and don't use Time Magazine, you don't use Google, you don't use any of the mainstream, look into things, and then just like the rest of us, you'll start finding patents. You'll start finding white papers that actually back this stuff up. Do you see what I'm saying? Global is the tool they're going to use to strip away everybody on the planet's freedoms. And they're doing it. 5G is going to help them do that even more. Television helps. It helps them form your opinion. It helps them make you think what you should be worth. If you're a plumber, there's a show on television with a plumber in it, and you see that, that's how you're supposed to act. If you're a hairstylist, there's a hairstylist television. You see what I'm saying? This never happened before in humanity, as far as we know. They've got every single solitary talking head as far as politics. Whatever you possibly think, they've got a person to sway you in a certain direction. Television shows, fashion, all that crap sway people in a certain direction. I can't say this enough. In America, to be successful as far as as far as everyone thinks, you need to be somebody that pays people to do everything else. You don't have to do anything for yourself. You surround yourself with security. You surround yourself with guns. And then to be the ultimate successful person, you want to take away everyone else's freedom to do anything. Why don't they stop the droughts? They are the droughts. Look up Weather as a Weapon, Owning the Weather by 2025, and you'll understand exactly what's going on. At any rate, Richie from Boston. Like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm out.